It is writing time. You guys will be using the writing pieces that you have been working on. We have been working on a narrative, which is telling a true story about something we've done, maybe somewhere we went. And we have, for the past 2 days, worked on getting our plan on our paper with fabulous pictures. And we've talked about how we need really good pictures because that helps us go back when we need to add sentences for the story. They remind us what we were talking about. And you guys have been working on labeling those pictures and catching all those sounds that you hear. Remember, you can use the ABC chart that has been put on Google Classroom if you are struggling to hear some of those sounds. I know we use that during writing time in the room because sometimes it helps to look at that to see what sound you need and how to make that letter. But for today, guys, we probably should be pretty good with all our pictures on our paper and all our labels. So today I want to teach you that a writer says a sentence in his or her mind and then they write it, writing word after word. And I did that with my first page for my story. And I said, one day, me and Eli got Cleo. And if you see that, you see all my words down here. But we need to talk about what makes writing easy to read when we do write those sentences. And if you notice on the other side of the screen, I have pointed out that we want to make sure our letters aren't smushed together. If we're making a word, the letters need to be by each other, but they can't be smushed together because if you have a hard time reading your story, I'll have a hard time reading your story and anyone else who tries to read it. We also want to make sure that we catch all those sounds and put as many letters for as many sounds that we hear in that word. Making writing easy to read makes sure you're making sure that your letters aren't scrunched together, and you see that over here on the screen as an example with the word girl. You make sure that your writing is neat and you don't have a lot of scribbles or eraser marks. And I know sometimes you have trouble in here, and an adult has to help you erase because sometimes we just don't have that muscle power to push down as hard as an adult does. And we need to put a lot of letters in every word. And the big thing that we have been talking about is we need pictures that really help the reader and you to know what's going on in the story. So when I did my page, I wrote, one day me and Eli got Cleo. But I wanted to point out that I have some words scrunched together. You see that right here? I put one day. I didn't leave a space between those two, and everything's kind of running together. So I'm going to erase that and fix that real quick. And you also know we've talked about how sometimes we just have too much to erase or we want to start over, and you can always staple or tape a blank piece of paper over the writing area in order to start fresh. And that's always a thought. But I need you to remember that you need to get that sentence in your mind before you put it on the paper. So let me look at my next page. And so here's my picture. And I'm thinking about my picture. And I know in my picture, I was trying to create Emma and Ella getting Cleo's cage all fixed up for him. So let me see. I need to get that sentence in my mind to go with that page. I know what I'm going to put. I'm going to put Emma and Ella put the cage together because that's what they're doing in that picture. And my picture was I did a pretty good job with my picture. I was able to remember my story, and that's what you need to remember as well. So let me write that down. And don't forget, we've also talked about how our pencil is very important. It's magical. We have a pointer side and we have a writing side. So as I start writing, I'm also pointing with my pencil because I need to reread. So I have me and oh, help me out, friends. And, oh yes, A. I hear another sound though. And, oh, you're right, N. A-N and D. Me and, did you see what I just did? I started again. I reread that sentence just to keep my thoughts right in my head. Me and Eli P. Oh, that's kind of in one of our snap words. Look. Remember how I said those OOs are kind of like a punch in your stomach and you're going, when you say them? I hear that in that word, I'm going to put OO. And that ending sound I hear is a T. Me and Emma put the snap word. I can spell that T-H-E. Remember, snap words are words that you can recognize and spell in a snap. Me and Emma Emma and Ella put the cage, C-A-J. Emma and Ella put the cage together. Oh, I'm done with my thought. I need an ending mark. I'm just telling you guys, so I think I'll end with a period. Now, I'm going to try to get my handy dandy magic pencil and use the pointer power. Me and Ella put the cage together. I like that sentence. I'm going to move on to my next page. So, friends, as I'm continuing my writing today, I want you to continue yours. I want you to finish your pictures and labeling if you have not done so yet. I want you to make sure that you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, so at least 3 pages. It can be longer, but no shorter than 2. And I also want you to start working on your sentences at the bottom, creating a sentence that goes along with the picture that you have at the top. I'm going to be working on mine and creating more sentences to go with my story. Remember to keep your stories because we will pull them back out again tomorrow and work on them. And parents, if you have a hard time printing out the papers that I have uploaded, don't worry about that. Just get a blank piece of paper if they need to add to it, or use a notebook. Whatever works for you works for me. Remember to take pictures each day of the work they've been accomplishing and upload it in Google Doc or Google Drive. No, Google Classroom. There's too many Googles for me. Upload it in their Google Classroom for your teacher. Until tomorrow, friends, I wish you all well.